Okay, here's what we got, guys. It's 11:30 on Friday Eastern Time. That's when we do our last huddle of the week before we go into the broker update, right? And what are we doing here, team? What are we doing? We're coming here to be energized and enthused and educated so we can get out and make an impact, right? That's what it's all about. And benefiting from all of you. We said yesterday we're not going to be ponds, we're going to be streams. We're not just going to receive and settle and do nothing with it. We're going to give too. We're going to receive and give, right? And so this huddle is all about receiving, but it's all about receiving so that we can get out fueled up and give. The pouring out of our heart happens as we fill our heart, right? You can't give from a reservoir that's empty. So this is like a wellspring that continues to fuel us that we can move forward. So as we're sitting here in the in the huddle today, we're going to be talking about rhythms today. We're going to be talking about our daily rhythm, and we'll get to that in a moment. Before we do, let's go through our daily funding stories. Two new stories I just got. So bear with me as I read them. First one, a hospice care facility out of California. Israel Varea. Hey, Israel, we've said your name a couple times now in the last few weeks. Good stuff. Client has okay credit, but very good revenue. Problem is that they've had issues in the past, slow paying another lender. They're going through some financial struggles, right? They're going through financial struggles if they're slow paying the other lender already. But because revenue is good and growing, we were able to get them a $150,000 offer on our flex rate program. It would be our core rate if they didn't have payment history issues. But this shows strength of revenue trumps weakness of payment history or other things like credit score. So the bigger the business, the greater the odds we're going to get an approval. If this business is only doing 30,000 a month, it's going to be a decline. But because they're doing hundreds of thousands, we're able to get them a $150,000 offer. So when we say focus on the core rate product, which is the larger 100,000 and up businesses, you're going to do much better. You're going to eat for a month rather than maybe catching a bluegill, a little panfish, and eating, an appetizer. So it's better to talk to the bigger businesses. You'll have a higher approval rate and you'll have a higher acceptance rate. Far better than if they're smaller businesses. So we know our minimums, but if you focus on the minimums, you're going to have minimum success. The minimums are the minimums. That's not where you want to live. This hospice care facility, good job, Israel. They needed funds. Why? Because they've been paid slow by the government. Being slow by the government means they've had trouble paying other lenders. So they're the middleman needing to get paid from their customers, and they're not getting paid timely. So they get in a jam. It happens every day in business. And we come along and help them. But because they're large enough, we got them an approval. Great job, Bank Breezy team. Great job, Wade. A towing company out of Georgia, broker Anitra Milton. Anitra, I think it's the first time we've said your name. Congratulations. The company has okay credit, had many declines due to issues with prior fundings. Again, we're seeing that a lot. A lot of people who are using us have gotten funded in the past. They learn of Bank Breezy and say, hey, we need to use you. They've been slow paying, and they had many transfer accounts. So that means they got two bank accounts, and one account is transferring money into the other. So they need to see that account, see what is that account? Where's it coming from? And they looked at it, had a bunch of negative days. So the transfer account had negative days, which was helping to fund the main checking account. That creates some risk. Why is the transfer account negative? Well, they're having money issues, right? That creates an issue. But we were able to get them a $30,000 flex rate, 32 weekly payments at a 1.39 with very good prepayment discounts. Again, both of these businesses had weaknesses in their record. But did we get them declines? Yeah, we got them a lot of declines. But we also got them approvals. And that's all that matters, is we got them approvals. Right? So, and when you look at our Bank Breezy funding platform, that's what you want to remember as you're educating people. It's not just the best offer, it's an offer. Right? If we can't get them an offer, they're not getting one elsewhere. And if we get them an offer, it's going to be the best offer available. Right? Now, we don't deal with all 100+ providers. So there may be some unscrupulous provider out there who will promise them the world. And we lose some customers once in a while to someone who's been promised the world and they go, oh, I can get a better offer elsewhere. And we go, great. We got a $500 guarantee. If you can deliver that and show us that, we'll give you $500. And they never can deliver it because they promise things, get you on a funding call, and change the deals as they're about to fund you. It happens in this industry. It's like this. Imagine you want to buy a car and you've got some credit issues and you find a car dealer who will give you a car and they say, we're going to get you this car lease at $439 a month. And you go, sweet, I can afford it. Let's go. And then it's time to pick the car up and you're there at pickup. You've already gotten dropped off. You're there to pick up your car. There it is in the showroom. It's already clean. It's ready to go. And the salesperson goes, oh, you know what? The finance manager needs to talk to you. They found something just recently on your credit background. And they look at it and go, yeah, based on what you said, we can't get you the $439 a month anymore. You don't have to take the car. It's already sitting there all shiny and pretty. You don't have to take it though, but your $439 payment's going to go up to $479 because we found these issues. And you're sitting there with a decision to make. You know they scammed you. You know they already knew this, but you either take it for $479 and drive off the lot, or you say, no, I'll look somewhere else. And most people do what? Take the car and drive it home. And guess what happens with the unscrupulous providers out there, who some of them we used to represent? You don't know they're unscrupulous until you work with them. And so we don't deal with that, but your clients are. Your clients are. So the Bank Breezy funding platform, best offer and no unscrupulous providers who are going to jack you up on the funding call. Now, the funding call does change things. If you took money last week and it's not part of your bank statements, well, that might get you declined. Right? If you did no sales in October and we've only got your September bank statements and you did 70,000 in September and October, you've only did 12, you're probably going to get a decline because your sales fell off the table, right? So there are times on the last call where things get changed, but it's not a strategy of present an offer that sounds appealing, get them to say yes, sign the document, and then bait and switch them and flip them later. It's standard in our industry, not from the providers we use, but it's standard in the industry. So these are the things you get to know as a broker as you're getting out there. But this huddle is not meant to talk about the garbage of the industry. It's meant to talk about the gifts of us being in this industry, the gifts of Bank Breezy building bridges, the gifts of DAC business brokers, you building bridges to all these businesses, right? So let me get to the pro tip quick in this huddle, and that is daily rhythm. I already said we're going to talk about daily rhythm. Today my wife and I we do every morning, we get together and we read a devotional and we do a little Bible study together. And, you do that over and over and over and over, month over month over month. And all of a sudden it becomes a rhythm that starts to change things. So we need to change the rhythm up a little bit. Let's change the rhythm up. And we decided today we're going to do things differently, so that it can be fresh and it can be more filling for us with our relationship with God, not just doing the thing, not just religion, but actually relationship. And so it reminded me the rhythm that we do as brokers. Some of us has a rhythm, some of us don't. So the first thing I'd say is, the first pro tip is, we need to get a rhythm. If you already don't have a daily rhythm that you subscribe to every day, within 15 minutes of this over today, just define your rhythm. How many prospecting you're going to do, how many follow-ups you're going to do, and how are you going to do those prospects? How many emails, how many phone calls, how many texts, how many live walk-ins, right? How many people are you going to call that you see on the road? How many canvassing as a customer are you going to do? Create your daily rhythm. Create a recipe that you are enthusiastic about and that you'll get after, right? My daily rhythm in reaching out is a minimum of a certain number of emails a day. Even if I don't call anyone, I got a minimum certain number of emails I need to send. Otherwise, I'm not living my daily rhythm. And that's to new prospects, right? And a minimum, if I see a car, I got to take a picture of it. And I got to call them this week sometime. It may not be that moment, depends on what I'm doing, but that's part of my rhythm. What's your rhythm? So you're going to define a rhythm, number one, if you don't already have one. If you do have one, evaluate it, like my wife and I did this morning. Evaluate your rhythm. How's it working out for you? How's it working out for you? Is what you're doing, is the recipe working? Is it delivering? This morning my wife said, I want a frothy coffee, and I want it to be frothy without fat. She can't drink dairy. So she's like, how do you get frothy coffee without dairy? And so I looked on chat and it gave me this flax milk and coconut milk. And I'm like, let's try it today. And I tried it. It did not work at all. We tried a new recipe today. It got all clumpy. Wasn't frothy. It was clumpy. I burnt the fat. So you're going to have ingredients to your day that doesn't work. So what are we doing? We make the coffee a little bit different tomorrow. We try it a little different. You try a little different. So you've got to have a rhythm. Number one, what is it? Define it if you don't already have. Number two, live it. So define it, live it, adjust it. Plan, do, measure, adjust. Plan, do, measure, adjust. Plan the rhythm, do the rhythm, measure the results of the rhythm, adjust the rhythm. Plan, do, measure, adjust. That's what we're doing today if you don't already have it. So the challenge for you today is to plan it. If you don't already have it, plan it. If you already plan it, are you doing it? Okay, then start doing it. If you're not doing it, if you are doing it, how's it working for you? Measure the results. If it's not working, what are we going to do? Adjust it. If it's working, just keep doing it, right? Plan, do, measure, adjust, no adjustment necessary. The only thing you got to adjust is that you stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. So plan, do, measure, adjust. That's all we got for you today. So as we break this huddle and go into the broker update, usually we allow the brokers at this time to share, allow all of you to share some things, but because it's the broker update, we're just going to move right off and into meeting at our 10-minute timeline here. So we're going to break the huddle now. You can bolt if you want to bolt, but go plan your rhythm, do your rhythm, adjust your rhythm. I'm sorry, plan it, do it, measure, adjust. Make sure we do all four of those if we're not already. All right. So we're going to do that today, right? We're going to do that today. And we're going to live it every day. We're going to live it every day. Ready? Break. Break. Done. Huddle's over. It's what we do every day. If this is your first huddle, we do it every day. And right now we'd have all the brokers who want to chime in with something they did. So join us every Monday through Friday. It pumps me up, pumps you up, it gets us hair on fire. If nothing else, it's going to nudge you back on track. You know, it says in the Bible that God created Eve to be an adversarial advocate of Adam, right? What's an adversarial advocate? And that's not word for word, but that's my interpretation of it. What's an adversarial advocate? It is someone who is your advocate, but is okay telling you, nudging you, right? And so when my wife is nudging me, I shouldn't take offense to it. I should be thankful that I'm being nudged on the right track, right? And when I'm nudged on the right track, I behave more as a man that she doesn't have to nudge to the right track. So if I'm taking offense, it's because I'm not living up to where I need to live up to, right? And that's a lesson I've learned throughout my marriage. And so same thing in this business. Are you being nudged on track? Are you being nudged? Do you need to be nudged? Sometimes the huddles are nothing more than a nudge. And you go, you know what? I got to get after, I got to do this more. Yesterday, we talked about being a bridge or a brick, right? A bridge or a brick, that every thought we have is either a brick for a wall that stops us or a brick to build a bridge to take us to the next level in life, the next level of our lifestyle, right? That was yesterday's pro tip and discussion in the huddle. And to make sure our thoughts aren't bricks of walls, but bricks of bridges. And hopefully many of you looked at that yesterday and realized how often you're building a wall. And that's a nudge, right? And me, I have there's many times I say, I'm not going to call him right now. I look like the guy was on his phone. Right. If I see a van with a, such and such plumbing and I look, the guy's on the phone, I'm not going to call him right now. He's on the phone. That's a brick. And now it could be wisdom, but just call. Just call. It's probably not even going to ring into his ear. Just call, or set a timer to call him in 5 minutes when you assume he's off the call. That's a bridge, right? So one thought's a brick, one thought's a bridge, right? Make sure you're building bridges.